Dee, 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 dee. Hello folks, welcome. Yeah, I've got here a casserole dish which I made. I made it a little while ago actually. It's just been under plastic. So what I'm going to do is fit the lid. Alright, the lid is just thrown like a very shallow bowl, you see. And so let's just make sure we can get that lid, get the lid to fit. That's the first thing to do. So yeah, I haven't been uploading many clips just for this last couple of weeks. I don't know, just one thing and another, you know. Oh, hang on, no, I'm doing I should be wetting the base there, shouldn't I? So just dampen the wheel head, dampen the base, put him down, and then tap center. Learn how to tap center. Then push it down. This may just need a very small amount of material of clay removed here, just on this edge. So you know, when you make things, of course you use your calipers, don't you, to measure, and nevertheless very often you still need to fit your lids, don't you? So this is, as you can see, the base here. Things to note, a bevel here on the bottom, which is going to make it easier for us to thumb off, and it has a rolled rim. And the rolled rim allows me then a little bit extra material to form a little gallery or ledge for the lid. Let's just see if he fits. Yep. You don't want your lids, by the way, to be absolutely sort of like an engineering fit, if you know what I mean. Neither do you want them to be too sloppy, but you see how that is there? Just got a little bit of give in it, left and right, as I move it. That's about right, so you know, bear that in mind. Okay, right, so the lid fits. The next thing we want to do is to just wet my thumb here and thumb off the base. Like that. Alright. Now when you look at that, really all that it is a cylinder, isn't it? It's just a cylinder that's been widened at the top with a rolled rim. So, learn to throw a cylinder and you'll be able to learn to make everything under the sun. So, next thing I want to do is, okay, so a couple of options here. Oh yeah, we're going to have to trim up with that. Trim the reverse side of the lid, the top side of the lid. So to do that, we're just going to just damp it with a little water. Damp it here on the wheel head. Put him there and tap center. Okay. Right, are we in the picture? Are we in the picture? Maybe let's move the camera slightly over there like that perhaps. Okay. Let's just have a sip of tea a minute. So using my trim tool and using my hand here to just a just-in-case hand, you know, it decides to fly off. So paring away the clay here. Okay, I'm checking over there in my mirror a little bit the profile of the lid. So basically there's two kinds of handles that you might do on a lid like this. One is a handle, a strap handle, and the other would be a knob, a thrown knob. Sometimes you'll find that when you're trimming, a little piece of grog in the clay will catch on the edge of the tool and then drag and form a line going all the way around. I don't really like that too much. Ooh, there you are, see? Can you see that line? Piece of grog or something is dug in there and carved out a line all around. So what you can do if you do get that happening, if you've got a small little, if you don't have one of these, I recommend you get them, they're very useful. Small little palette knife, an artist's palette knife, and then you use it to work it over the surface of the trimmed clay, you see, to compress the surface just a little bit. Alright, so there it is. Another sip of tea. Let's see, are we in the picture? Yeah. Oh yeah. You see the bit of shine I've got there going on the where my fingertip is on the pot. That's indicative of the compressed surface of the clay. You see, it gets a bit of a little shine to it. I'm going to have to get a little bit of clay because what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a knob on here. So, a little piece of clay. Yeah. Think that's big enough? I think we'll soon find out. So, take a lump of clay. I'm thinking that we're going to add a little piece more to that. So what we want to do now is throw the knob. So let's just zoom that in a bit down there. Yeah, something like that. So there's a lump of clay. Right, before we join it, I'm going to put a spiral here, like that. and then dip my finger in my water pot and put a little bit of water there. See? I'm going to take the lump of clay, put it there in the middle, and with the wheel just going very slowly, push down, join the lump of clay, the soft lump of clay, push it down and join it to the lid. Using my thumbnail, which is round, to push into that the base of the knob there, just to... Alright, now I'm going to start to throw the knob. So we want a knob that is, let's bring the camera in for a bit of detail on the actual knob. Let's see, like that. So you actually want the knob, you see, to be able to feel like you can easily lift the lid of the casserole off. You don't want a knob that's going to stick up and be an awful eyesore. So you want to undercut it, you see, a little bit, so that it's nice to lift. At the same time, you want to somehow relate, I think anyway, the top of the knob to the side here. It's often the way, you know, when you're making pots, that you want the different components of the pot to mirror, as it were, other parts of the pot. Okay. Let's just take the camera off the tripod a moment, just so you get a sideways view of that. Alright, you want the knob to be in proportion to the lid. It just wants to be right, doesn't it? Just balanced. It's not always easy to know that, and sometimes it takes a little bit of experience just to get that right. Alright, so release by pushing like that. Okay, what I'm going to do is get my my banding wheel. And take the casserole. So that will sit in there, you see. I'm not going to put it in now because it's just a hassle to get out. But what I've got to do next is lo and behold, what have we got here? Well, I've got here some thrown knobs, you see, some thrown of various sizes, because I wasn't quite sure when I was making them exactly what the size was going to be. So let me just put those down over there. Because I want to size these up, you see. So let's start with the smallest one. So these I've got to cut. I'll just show you how I do that. So as you can see, it's a thrown knob, it's hollow. I'm going to just cut that there across at an angle like that, you see. It's a bit like, and then we want to hold it up and look at it and ask ourselves a few questions, right? Like, does that look right? No, Simon, it looks downright ugly. Location, yeah. I'm going to be honest with you, I think that is a little small. That one I did. Slightly bigger one. So let's cut this guy. Okay, now this is the thing. So we got to hold it up. So it's going to have one handle here. In fact, it's going to have on the other side here where my thumb is, it's going to have a strap handle here. Alright. I think that looks better. But we do have another one that is even bigger. Very slightly bigger. So cut that through. I haven't put any handles on like this for years, I don't think. So when you cut it, you see, you sort of want to cut it because the side of the pot is rounded, isn't it? So you see that this is also cut like that, you see. Okay, let's have a look at that. Yeah, I think that's a better size. So actually I'm going to measure that because I'm about to make some more casseroles and you're going to see me making these. It needs to be, I would say it actually needs to be thrown 3 3/4 tall. These actually are thrown off the hump. Yeah, throw these off the hump. So there's two things to think about here with these kind of handles, and that is you've got to cut them off at the right angle here, you see. But as well as that, you've got to cut them in a slightly circular way like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it here. So I'm going to wet my finger and rub it around like that a bit. And now I'm going to scratch it, you see, like this. Add more water. In other words, I'm going to make this slip that's going to enable me to stick the handle onto from the pot itself. Just tapping it with my fingernail like that, creating a nice mud pie. Okay, that's what you want, a nice mud pie. Now this guy, you want to make sure he's soft enough so that you can join him. And if he isn't soft enough, then you should just dip him in the water pot, you see. Comme ça. Right, now. So now there where it's keyed, and with this I'm going to place him on there like that. Okay. Now, good idea to work off a banding wheel, hand behind like this, holding the handle, and apply a little pressure but not too much. And then you want to start joining this. So, in certain cases where you can't get your finger in there to make a decent join, you could perhaps use a round tool, piece of wood like this, to just what is that looking like there? Yeah. A little bit of water. I'm just trying to make a good join, but also make a join that looks right, you know. Guess I should use my little finger. Oops. Why don't you jab it with your fingernail, Simon, and so, having done that, you do want to just sponge that over. Now, I wouldn't usually use a sponge if I was, for example, like on this tankard, if I was finishing off the end of a handle here, I would not take a sponge and fiddle with that there, because that's different. This is just a different kind of handle, and it's actually better to do that. Just to lightly sponge it, just to. Okay. Now the little hole here in the end, I'm not really removing any material there, I'm just simply Yeah, what do you think of this, folks? Old knife thing I found for the kitchen countertop. But I got one of those magnetic racks, you know, and for the knives, etc. And I thought, oh, we don't actually need this anymore. What am I going to use that for? Oh, we'll burn it. No, we will not. We are not going to burn it. We're going to recycle it. It's going to be useful for all sorts of things, you see, etc., etc. Yeah, and so it is. So I have it here by my wheel, you see, just down there. That's where he lives. And my tools have got home. They've got a home to go to. They're not tools of no fixed address. They have a residence. Okay. Now's the time. If there's any like ugly marks, fingernail marks, you know, inevitably you jab things with your fingernail. But clay's so forgiving, isn't it, that we can easily remedy that. There is the lid in situ. There's actually as I told you, ooh, oh gosh! Don't touch the wet knob, Simon. I was about to grab the knob then, try and lift him off. Yeah. Well, just to give you some idea there of the casserole as it is so far. What I'm going to need to do, of course, is put a little strap handle across here on this side, so that when you lift it, you've got the handle here to hold on to, and you've got something there just for your fingers just to hold on to. What I will do is, before this is bisque fired, on the underside of this lid, right where the knob is, before bisque firing, or in fact now, right soon after this now, I will put a hole up underneath, okay, to allow steam to escape. So, because knobs can have a tendency to blow off in the bisque firing. Okay, folks, thank you very much for joining us, and I hope that's been of some help to you, inspirational or whatever, technical, and yeah. Please go to my website, simonleachpottery.com, and above all, keep practicing. And I'll see you soon. Bye bye. Yeah, we're going to be doing some more casseroles, and I'll show you in upcoming videos some actual throwing of the lid and the body. Okay, bye bye now.